Trek Powerfly LT9. I had a lot of fun on this bike. This is the best e-bike I've ridden, definitely. It's 160 travel at the front, 150 rear, 27.5 plus tyres. Not into the plus tyres, but is what it is. You can probably put 2.6 minions on here, I'd say. I reckon that'd be the move. If you went 2.6 minion front and back, probably want them in the double down casing, just so they're really strong. Wouldn't matter XL or double down, but I think for me, I'd probably go a double down casing just for that extra sidewall support and just a little bit more peace of mind. Set them up tubeless. I'm pretty sure these are set up tubeless. It's got dropper post, the Bontrager dropper post. Works well. These Shimano 4-piston brakes, Shimano XT 4 pots, are extremely good. So this bike's 23 or 24 kilos, so it's a heavy bike. Like all the e-bikes are, they're all about the same weight. And these brakes work absolutely flawlessly. So much power. It's got 200 rotor at the front, 200 rotor at the back. So good. Never heated up. So on twisted gum, on a fast run on twisted gum on my bike with my Guide Ultimates, when I get down the bottom, those brakes are hot, and then once you get heading back up the fire road, if I try and pull a wheelie and grab the brake, there's just nothing there. Once they start cooling down, it's like they fade, and they've got to cool right back down before they work again. These brakes, not an issue. They'll go all day. They're super reliable. The Fox 36 fork. So I'm running at 4 clicks on this grip damper. So 1, 2, 3, 4 clicks, and 85 psi. Not 85 psi. That was the other bike. 115 psi. Could probably go to 120, no worries, and leave it at 4 clicks. Maybe even back it off to 3 clicks. But 4 clicks stops it from diving, makes the front end feel really stable. Still sensitive under the vibrating bumps. So I rode it at Twisted Gum at Waterfall Gully, did a few laps there. And then last night, or yesterday Arvo, I did a few laps at Cobbler's Creek. Still on the same battery charge, so I've done 37 Ks. I've just charged it up. Did 37 Ks and it wasn't flat yet, it was close. Came with a 70mm stem. Nicked that off straight away. So I put a 50mm stem on it off of my bike. So I've got the Bontrager line stem on my Remedy. So 70mm stem, it felt long, hard to bunny hop, steering wasn't very fun. It wasn't as capable as bike. If you've got a long stem on your bike, there's no way you're going to be able to ride it anywhere near as confidently as if you've got a 50mm stem on it. It just makes the steering more predictable, less sketchy, and definitely safer and more fun. More fun. Brings you back here, brings you back more into the center of the bike, and you can lift that front end up much easier. So 50mm stem made it an absolute shredder on the descents. Ran a really hot time at Twisted Gum yesterday, which partially to do with the motor on the pinch climbs would have given me, in my previous video, I said probably 3 or 4 seconds, but I reckon more like 8 or 9 seconds. Watching the replays, you're just motoring out of that stuff. So very impressive on that front. Handling itself, twisty, sketchy, tight, technical trail. No problems at all. It just shreds. It's very intuitive. It feels really good. I ride a Trek, so I'm kind of used to the geometry, I guess. But even that said, when I first got my Trek, I got on it and I felt fast on it straight away. I think they just make bikes that feel good. Even though they make them a little bit short, they do make them a bit short and maybe a bit steep on the head angles for real charging, descending. They just feel intuitive. They feel really good. So this thing hauls on the descents. And I took it to a friend's house last night. I commuted on it. So I rode, it's probably about a 15-minute commute to and from. And I spent some of that time with the motor on and some of it in the off mode where it's just free and you got to do all the work yourself. Pumped the tyres up to 30 psi for the commute. I was running them at 19 on the trails and that felt pretty good. I experimented a little bit with tyre pressure, not too much. I felt like I was pretty well on the sweet spot at 19. With enough support on the sidewalls, but still fairly compliant. Commuting, the other e-bike I had, after 25 k's an hour with that Shimano motor, it feels like I was kind of stuck in the mud a little bit. This one, you do get a similar feeling of stuck in the mud, like it's a little restricted, it's not completely free, but it is very much closer to being free than what I felt on the Shimano motor. Now, it was a little while ago that I tested that, but all the same, this Bosch motor feels really, really good. The power delivery when you're on the trail or when you're cruising up the hill is really smooth. It always feels like it's right there. I had it in the EMTB setting for most of the time, which is their intuitive setting. So it's got off setting, eco setting, tour setting, EMTB setting, and then turbo setting. So the eco is almost no help, a little bit of help, so the battery will last forever. The tour setting is great for commuting, great for everything. It feels like it's got a fair bit of support, a fair bit of help there. The EMTB will only give you as much as what you're giving on the pedals, so it's excellent for on the trails, it's excellent for climbing. It doesn't, as soon as you put on the pedals on an awkward corner, it doesn't boost you out and ruin your line. It keeps you where you want to go, and it'll only give you all that power if you ask for it. So the EMTB setting is excellent on this Bosch motor, and the turbo setting is obviously as much power as the motor's got all the time. So I used the turbo setting for climbing up a couple of fire roads, and that was really good. But for the majority of my time, I use the EMTB setting. So heaps of power, very smooth power delivery, and feels great when you're above the 25k an hour threshold. You can still go faster. Now the momentum this thing carries once it's over that 25k's an hour as well is excellent. It carries momentum like it's supposed, like a trail bike should. Feels excellent on the twisty stuff. It felt really good on the pedally flatter stuff at Cobblers yesterday as well, which is where you would really notice that stuck in the mud feeling. I could sprint it up to 30, 35 k's an hour, no worries, down some of those trails, and just hauling, and that heavy, the extra weight just keeps it planted, and it just carries speed everywhere. Had a lot of fun on it at Cobblers yesterday, Arvo, had a lot of fun on a Twisted Gum, and I'm very, very impressed with where e-bikes are going. So if you're in the market, get into Bicycle Express or wherever your local store is that have got e-bikes for test, and give this thing a spin, or give one a spin, because I think you'll be hugely impressed, hugely impressed. So pretty easy to set up. I just set the fork up, you know, how I would set up any fork, just by feel more or less. Set the rear shock up to not bottom out, and you know, most of the time I got probably within 15 mil of the full bottom out, but not much more than 10 mil there, so ran it fairly efficient, and there was no horrible feedback from the suspension or anything like that. It was just smooth, planted, and great geometry for a bike to descend on. So very impressed, very happy, and yeah, what else can I say? The Shimano GX, SRAM GX drivetrain, the Eagle drivetrain, worked absolutely flawlessly. I gave a little adjustment when I first got the bike just to get that the chain running dead center off the cog. Ran perfectly, seat post ran perfectly, the motor ran perfectly, there was no hiccups, there was no hitches. I like the way the motor works, so it's just touch button, you don't have to hold anything, you don't have to mess around with anything. Everything on this bike's killer. So like I said, all I'd change is shorter stem. I'd go the Minion 2.6s, DHF 2.6s, and you'd be singing. I know you can get the DHR2s in the 2.8, but not a big deal. I'd probably go that narrower tyre over the 2.8s, and just let it sing. It's killer. So thanks to Bicycle Express for letting me lend it again. So I've borrowed a couple of bikes off those guys lately, or guys and girls, and they've been real nice about it. They've been real easy with it. So I'm enjoying demoing bikes. So if you're out there, you know, you run a bike shop or whatever, and you got some demo bikes, yeah, if you think they're any good, holler at me, and I'd be keen to try them for sure. Hit me up. Thanks.